Hey guy, welcome back to me copying Drew Gooden again. I still don't know what to call my audience, so if there's something you'd like to be called, say so in the comments. Also, I'm, for the first time ever, doing a video with the autofocus turned on, so if it's bugging out the whole time, I'm terribly sorry. I am not reshooting the video. Over the years, I have learned to control my horrendous anxiety. Everything from preventing triggers to avoiding overstimulation, say goodbye to panic attacks caused by sudden, drastic changes. With enough routine, consistency, and time to relax, I can avoid awful headaches and migraines. Oh, what's that? I'm moving in a week and didn't find out until the plans were completely solidified? Okay. That's right, I moved. And let me tell you, from the stress and the anxiety and the panicking and the exhaustion and the depression and the nausea, it's pretty great. Working a full-time job is pretty exhausting, but at least I have a pretty cool place to come home to. Check it out. We have a couch, a chair, a TV, a fireplace, a sink, a dishwasher, a washer and dryer, which I was surprised to find out that apparently an in-unit washer and dryer is not that common. I know most people don't have that in their first place, and generally they have to go to the laundromat or something. I was just surprised by how many people came over, noticed our washer and dryer, and were shocked. A lot of things came with that as well that just moving into your first place, I just didn't expect. If you couldn't tell, this video is gonna be about little things about moving into your first place. I'm young enough to be moving into my first place, but old enough to be old enough. For those of you who haven't moved into your first place, let this video be a little bit of an inspiration to things not to do. For those of you who've already moved into your first place and then on, let this video inspire your youth and remind you of the good old days of not knowing which size trash bag to get for your trash can. Speaking of which, oh my gosh, was that hard to figure out. I thought it'd be simple. But no, the trash can our place came with was this little like lift top trash can, and we were using it for quite a while before we started getting annoyed of it. It looks like the kind of trash can that you'd step on a thing and it would open up, but instead you step on it and it just...
Touch me harder.
Huh? It took us a while of talking about getting a new trash can before we got a new trash can, which we found at IKEA, and bonus points didn't need to be assembled. The only thing wrong with the new trash can that we got is that it was much bigger than our old trash can, which meant we couldn't use the brand new box of old trash bags, so we had to go to the store and get new ones. My roommate, they went to the store, got new ones. It was one of those big boxes with like 4 rolls in it, gonna last us forever. And then they were still too small for the can. And the biggest issue we ran into is that the can's depth matched that of the trash bags. The problem, the mouth of the trash can is so wide that we could not get anything to go around the edge without tearing. So we had to return the old box and then go find a new one, but as it turns out, the store only has size 13 and size 30. There was no in between. So now we have 30-gallon trash bags in our probably 20-gallon trash can. But on the bright side, it makes taking the trash out easy because you take the thing off the edge and then you pull it up and it's really easy to lift out. It's super nice and it closes every time, guaranteed. Stuff like with the trash can and just the size of the mouth matching your trash bags, there's just a bunch of stuff like that that you don't really think about until you move out, like sponges. In a place where your parents are providing for you or whatever situation it might be, you're probably used to grab dish, grab sponge, get soap, scrub, rinse, done. But when you don't have a sponge, it's just grab dish, and that's it. Because there's no sponge. So then you go to the store to go get a sponge. And usually you don't really think of the other things, so you just grab the sponge. You get home, this time around it's grab dish, grab sponge, and then go back to the store because you didn't buy soap. There were so many instances of, yay, we have ice cream! Oh, we don't have an ice cream scoop. That's agony. The other night, I was making homemade pizza. It was great. Everything was going swimmingly. Making the dough, it was so smooth. It was perfect. Nothing went wrong. And then it came time to make the sauce, and I went into the pantry and found that we had cans of tomato paste, but no can opener. So I had to use this thing. How did the Cowboys use that? Like, this took forever and it was difficult. Like, can you imagine just...
Well, after a long day sitting on horses, you ready to eat that can of chili I was telling you about?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm starved. How long do you think it's going to take?
Oh, maybe an hour, 2 hours.
Why is it going to take so long to make a can of chili?
Well, I gotta open the can.
And sure, you might... And sure, you might be thinking, just go to the store and buy a can opener. We would have if we hadn't already been to the store twice that day, which is something that happens a lot in the first month. There was a day where I went to the store 5 times. Needless to say, lists became a big part of our lives. But that does help lead into probably one of the biggest stressors of moving into a new place, which is the money. Going into it, I knew that it would be a lot of money, especially just considering the move-in costs. But I didn't quite realize that, oh yeah, we need food. And those costs, they added up fast. In the first month, every paycheck I got just spiraled down the drain, making up for move-in fees, for groceries, all of that stuff. It really sucked. I kept having these horrible anxiety attacks and like hyperventilating. I've never hyperventilated before until I had to pay taxes in the first month of living in my new apartment. Those costs, they kept going up and they were getting high, but then I remembered that like, oh, a lot of this stuff we're just getting because it's the first month. I'm not going to be buying an electric guitar every month. And that was a joke. I didn't buy an electric guitar. I bought an acoustic guitar. But something that actually helped us out quite a lot, at least in terms of the quality of life, was the sheer amount of stuff I already had. I already had a bunch of pots and pans. I already had a couch. I already had a chair, a TV, a place to put the TV, Nintendo Switch, virtual reality. I had a bunch of this stuff already, and I built that up in my youth. So if you're somebody who doesn't have to pay taxes right now, but you have a job and you're just saving, I recommend buying a bunch of fun stuff that you'd want in your apartment beforehand, and hit the thrift store often. But now we can enjoy really nice things like my sound system I got from Goodwill, because I just bought that stuff ahead of time. I think it would have been a lot harder to have all of the stress and anxiety and fear of moving into a new place and then come home to pretty much nothing. I will say that having to work so hard all the time at a full-time job, which chances are if you're working in like the food industry, you're gonna get underpaid for the work you're doing. That's what's happening to me. I'm not getting illegally underpaid, but I would like to be paid more for the work I'm doing. But doing all of that work and then coming home drained and tired so you can't clean or finish unpacking, that's been a very humbling experience. Because growing up, I remember, Mom, can we get McDonald's? And my mom would say, we have food at home. And back then I heard it as, we have food at home. But now I hear it as, trust me, I want McDonald's too. But we have food at home, food that's so good. It's amazing. And that's what I think about now. Even though we ordered DoorDash the other day, regardless, there's just a bunch of little things to really think about, whether it's money and planning out all of your costs, or something as small as trash bags and sponges, paper towel dispensers. Having a pre-existing stockpile of toilet paper and paper towels was really nice because we would not have been able to have afforded that if we didn't already have it. But anywho, thank you for watching this relatively short video. I do plan on making more stuff, hopefully on a weekly basis, especially because I need money. It felt really wrong to make the first video in my new place something that wasn't about my new place. And by my new place, I mean our new place with my roommate. I don't want to exclude them, because it couldn't have happened without them. I enjoy making content, and I am happy to be in a place where I can consistently make content all the time. I look forward to having you guys here for it. Thanks for hanging out. I'm thinking about referring to my audience as you. Just be like, hey, you, welcome back to another video. I don't know. What do you think? You know, comments, leave recommendations. Maybe top comment gets to choose what the community is called. Don't make it the N-word though. It might be a little funny, but that would be bad. It would be uncouth. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.